The Mongols going to start things off over on the CT side of this Eternal Fire pick of Anubis.
Yeah, spicy veto coming through, especially after that dominant win from the Mongols back in India. So let's see if Eternal Fire can show up and get their vengeance today, or if it will be a repeat result from the Mongolians. CT side picked on Eternal Fire's map. And a bit of a brawl, perhaps, here, Harry, as we don't know what to expect from these two rosters. Not the strongest map for either of them. Eternal Fire looking confident, displaying that in middle with a little fake as they go back to drop down into Senzu. He sees everything he needs as they get ready for the B.
Oh, little jump around the corner into the dual Berettas of Techno, but the flashes will wreck him, and now they know about Blitz in at the back of the site, so that one is kept clean for Eternal Fire. Zinho tries to barrel through that smoke, but won't find a thing, and so it looks like Eternal Fire are going to lock themselves in early with a nice pistol round.
Mongols just team flash Techno. I think that honestly loses them the round. They are scrambling because they've lost Senzu down in Con, but if Techno doesn't get popped in B main with that flash thrown by his teammate in Temple, he probably gets 2 kills of the Julies. He has a powerful position, and Eternal Fire can't comfortably plant, so an awkward flash timing for the Mongols will cost them. Eternal Fire, nice little fake out, and Woxic 3 kills as well to find that first pistol round. He looked great yesterday, Harry.
Yeah, he really did. I think this matchup, for my money, is probably the most devastating of all the
two
lower
teams
round of the play-ins.
Deserving of the group stage of Cologne, without a doubt. But that's what happens when you start slow, man, and we saw exactly that for the Mongols more so. Coming in and falling against Saw was, I would say, a disappointment. Saw, of course, have progressed to the group stage over Big, who are still fighting for their life. But yeah, I think we would have expected Mongols to win that game. Let's see if they can make up for it a little bit later. Force buy up. Scout and Deegs. And Eternal Fire walking into this A stack right now.
A triple main setup. And Eternal Fire about to walk right into it. Mongols, this is exactly what they were hoping for, but nothing connects to open this one off. And so it's just Senzu with this Deagle. His teammates are ways away as well, so he's going to try and get out of there, but try is the operative word. In this instance, he gets spammed out by Wakadia.
Yeah, well-timed play for Eternal Fire. Just contact in main, and when they get the entries, that's when the execute comes in. There's nothing worse than throwing in the execute before you've cleared main.
Yeah. And
not only does that give warning, but then you get stalled out in baskets and can't get into the site. But the util's not really necessary. With 2 clean entries for Eternal Fire, they're looking to keep 5 alive here in round 2. Very strong execute team are Eternal Fire, so to me it makes sense why they like the Anubis pick. Trying to change things up, trying to catch Mongols off guard. Definitely a good idea they banned Ancient this time around. They paid the price last time in that Indian head-to-head. Getting just 8 rounds and then 4 on Dust 2. Already starting off a lot better.
Oh, that scout tries to get involved over in middle early.
Optimistic, no smoke.
No smoke down. Fight at the drop down. Like,
yeah, well, if the smoke's down, they're going to cool it, and those A-Stairs players are going to be a lot more aware of the possibility of a scout. It's a very common opening play. They know they saved the scout, but you're just hoping that Eternal Fire don't swing mid off spawn. There were Deagles, they missed their shots. Mongols coming in a little bit cold, but maybe I'm jumping the gun. It's 2-3 rounds.
Yeah, well, let them have guns, and then we'll pass the judgment.
Heat check here. It's getting warm. Bodies clammed together on this B bomb site.
Yeah, Xantares right now is kind of making a bit of a move over towards A. He's got all this control out towards main, and he's likely calling, guys, I've got so much space. I've seen no one yet, and so that bomb starts to move back around.
Important clear for Xantares. They were actually grouping for the B execute. So they were about to walk into that full B stack. That's why having the advantage gives you the freedom to just send a lurker in and try and 50-50 one of those sides. He makes the right move, gambles correctly, and as a result, Eternal Fire once again avoid getting caught by pistols. Fantastic start for the Turkish team. But let's get these guns out.
Yeah, so earlier on when we were kind of saying this one feels like a pretty...
do it.
Yeah, Xantares, get the knife.
Oh, he didn't like it. He saw he was moving. Maybe there's another in the sight. Don't want to lose the AK.
Yeah, it's fair. Oh, hang on.
Xantares. It's all Xantares.
All right, so we were saying earlier on, this feels like one of the more brutal matchups that they're playing. I think, you know, when you kind of look at these squads, both of them, when you think of the Major, had real success stories, and it had been the culmination of both teams kind of building up over the course of the year. You had Eternal Fire managed to make it into the top 8, which was insane, and then you had TheMongolz secure an extra spot for the region. And sure, once they kind of got to that next stage, things did not go swimmingly for them, but it was still a huge victory for not just them, but the region they're carrying the torch for. Since that point, though, you've seen things stagnate, get a little bit rougher for both teams. It hasn't been that continued upwards path, and so missing a Cologne is a big deal for one of these squads.
Brutal combo here.
Push out towards A main.
Again?
Kadia hopping on in. Oh, and he's going to get the better of both of them. The Mongols thought they had that dead to rights. They thought they'd just gone and carved out this part of the map, planted the Mongols' flag, but instead, Kadia uproots them, and now as Senzu comes pushing in, Calix goes to try and catch him, but isn't able to do so. Senzu is a thorn in the side of Eternal Fire right now. They want to try and uproot him, but if you look on the map, Blitz is moving over. Blitz might get here in time to lend a helping hand. Just up in the window, and that AWP scavenged by Kadia earlier on gets the better of him.
Oh, Mongols overconfident on that re-aggress in a 5v3. They push back for more. And Eternal Fire just patiently waiting, just delayed on that Rug's position. That's a kick in the teeth for Mongols. Great punish for Eternal Fire. And they're going to creep the right way. Techno cannot be counted out in this 1v2b. He's about to walk dry into an AWP. Missed shot, only a leg. Techno low, Magic the same. And Techno now grabbing a gun, has to reveal his position and just run towards that B bomb site, giving all the time for Magic to set up. He's playing CT. Not really a worry. They're both low. This MAC-10 can win the round with ease. Just run and gun.
The one thing that could help Techno out is he is a full belter util.
You just don't want to be caught pulling nades when you have no idea of Magic's position. He doesn't have a kit either. Smoke Stick seems insane right now. I don't know if he can win this round. The clock is too far gone. The smoke falls too short. He didn't even get it on the bomb. He thinks he might be main, and Techno's out of there. Magic can die. It doesn't matter. AWP save. Round 1 in a 3-on-5 for Eternal Fire. That's a disaster for Mongols, going back for more.
Yeah, I think they thought that, you know, they kind of... You're getting a bit of a default round played against you. You've dealt with 2 players over towards A main. You're hoping that you've got something to show for it, so they go try flex their muscles even more. And then it opens them up to this.
Yeah, I mean, Wakanda came out of nowhere, but he was set up with a flash. That AWP was actually scoped really deep on A stairs still. I'm not surprised they didn't expect 3 players rugs there, but that's kind of worst case scenario for the Mongols. They can rebuy. It's all they've got going for them. CT side Anubis, it's okay to start a little bit slow. But what that round could have been versus what it was is not satisfying.
You know, they just spent a good bit of time kind of talking about the importance of the individuals to Eternal Fire. You've had a good showing from Woxic to open in those first few rounds, and now Wakardia showing up in a very big way to salvage that round there. It certainly looks like you have these individuals performing for Eternal Fire at the start of this matchup.
Molly has to go down. Aja runs through it with the MAC-10. Almost respected, but Senzu's not going to let that happen with a jiggle. 9-10 should be an easy 1 kill. Shadow advantage. Woxic trying to trade with the AWP. 9-10 getting blocked here. Careful, boys. Don't want to throw this one away, but Nade's pulled for Woxic, and a double repeat gives us a 5 alive round for the Mongols. Better late than never.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you find yourself over on this CT side of Anubis, you kind of move the goalposts for a good CT half. It always feels a bit dire when you don't win the pistol. Getting those free rounds on the back of it is a big deal. The fact that they fell down in that previous one where Magic clutched up in the 1v1, that could have been the beginning of a bit of a disastrous opening here, but they get on the board relatively early. So if they break through, if they find themselves another, suddenly this game gets a lot closer. But Eternal Fire, favored side, are not keen to repeat the mistakes of that last round. They take this one far slower, kind of stacking up over towards B and now trying to work a bit of mid control, or at least giving the illusion that that's what they're doing.
Just ready to explode into this B bomb side though instead. Good util holding for the Mongols. Down to 115, they still got mollies. They drop them in main. That's an awkward fight. Senzu falling. Techno needs a multi-kill, but they go through the smoke as he finds 2. That might interest them, but Blitz runs a Molotov as well, removing any chance to play the post plant. Now a 2v2 with Cardia oversteps as much as Blitz did. And Eternal Fire get out to play this bomb.
Well, that swing from Cardia come back to haunt Eternal Fire. The Mongols might have never even attempted this if it were a 2-on-3, but now they're interested. Xantares, that is clean.
He's got a smoke.
No chance to react for 9-10, and so Mazinho's got to do this alone. He learns about the player back in main. He knows where both are. Just Xantares left to find, reload in, but he's got that mag back in the gun in time, does Xantares. And the bigger gun beats back the USP in that clutch.
Damn nice try from Mazinho, right? Thrown into a very difficult clutch with the amount of nades Eternal Fire has. He doesn't know it. He can't stick that top of the smoke, but gives it his best go. Damn. And there's some serious over-peaking in that round as well.
Yeah, from both sides,
teams.
right?
But Eternal Fire come up better. Right now, Senzu, bit of a liability in the composition, has fallen twice without a kill on these B splits. And there's only one player coming con as well. If you win that fight, the T's can't get comfortable enough to plant. Techno has more room to play and hold that smoke. It's a very different situation for the Mongols.
You know, I mean, we've credited the kind of execs and how they go about taking stages of the map already for Eternal Fire, and I think Dark is probably the hardest position on the map to have to withstand that from, and that's where I think the fact that the Mongols lost out that A-push round early is so influential. It feels like it's already kind of stripping back on what they feel comfortable doing in the early round to try and lend a helping hand down at Dark. You can eliminate that play early through pushing a main, through fighting at the window, and we haven't seen that work out for the Mongols yet.
Not sure how Woxic got put on 3. Maybe it was double HEs towards A stairs. But he has been battered to begin this round. Let's see if they can do it with their AWP wounded. As Woxic tries to go for a B pick instead. A nade could completely end his round. Important re-smoke. But Mongols are still 3 strong on this site. They still have deep mid control. Blitz is playing to reinforce Mazinho, but this is the B hit for Eternal Fire. Once again, laying up and execute with Maja coming in from that dark position. All eyes on Senzu, backing out of it and calling for support.
On the 40-second mark, there's a re-smoking at main, so Eternal Fire had to drop in this close one, try push up around it. That's going to cut the site in half. Both teams just having to spam these smokes and hope that something connects. Woxic has dodged death every single time on his route to getting this bomb planted. But it's Techno to make this ballsy play through the smoke. 2 quick kills from the man, and that's put the Mongols in the driving seat.
Maja got a molly.
You can use that a little later. try and keep them off the bomb, but they will pressure him. They will try and charge down the captain of Eternal Fire, and they'll succeed in that, so the molly never comes to pass. And the Mongols successfully retake that B bomb site.
Super well handled, right? Just completely changing up the setup, playing behind the site, and that helps for them because Eternal Fire go for a double smoke execute. They cover every single position. Mongols don't commit to dark, which has let them down, and Techno is able to just make a hero play through the smoke with a well-placed flash, coordinated round for the Mongols, and we've seen a lot of overswings from this team already in just 6 rounds of play, so that's a far better look in the post plant. 5-on-5 retake comes up for the Mongols. Eternal Fire, who have taken some close rounds in this game already, don't have much money to show for it. 1 AK, 1 Galil, and scraps on this T side as Mongols pull up with the double orb. We saw Blitz wield this, but he gave it away after just 1 round the other game against FlyQuest. He whiffed a shot, let Senzu play it. Far better results on that B-bomb site. We'll see how Blitz does. 910's going to be going for mid picks more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen everyone, apart from Mizinho, wield the AWP on this map for the Mongols.
True. I love it. Eternal Fire loving this B site. Great round to do it, though, with little to work with.
Good pre-flash there from Techno, but still he's going to get run down. Oh, Xantares! Senzu tries to back up, tries to respect it and give them the space, but just gets domed.
You got to save. This is already cooked here for Mongols. Losing 2 players, 1 through a smoke, and Eternal Fire with almost no utility just burst into B site. 1 well-placed flash, and they win the round. That is an explosive hit. Seems like Mongols are still hanging around. Are they going to do something cheeky here? Surely not. Oh, Spot is so big there, denying any chance to play a ninja.
No,
Blitz is still going in.
They're trying.
He has no kit though. It's on 910, who dies back in spawn. Blitz picks it up, but they run through the Molotov, and Eternal Fire dodge death. My oh my. Do you like them going for that, Harry? What do you think?
I mean,
it's a bit cheeky. 5 players alive.
It's cheeky. I don't know. It nearly worked. I think, honestly, the swing from Xantares, I think it was from behind the pillar, deserves a fair bit of credit because he was kind of checking to see if they were doing that. He was like...
Yeah, if he doesn't check.
If he doesn't, yeah, exactly. They've seen and heard nothing, and so then suddenly, you know, it was 1 info peak away from working.
Back to this aggressive A push. They tried in the first gun round. Orb supports for a trade. Honestly worth it. But he can't go back for more. Senzu will. This is so aggressive.
Yeah, he's got the problem right now where like there's just a lot of angles to have to worry about. And now that he's been spotted, that route to get back to safety is very, very long. And he feels each of these seconds as he tries to get away from this swing at the stairs.
Got cover.
Xantares doesn't want to commit to the fight, worried that that AWP is bearing down upon him. So Senzu has been given a second chance here.
All in all, Mongols have really stalled the round out here for Eternal Fire. And this AWP at A allows them to still play together on the B site. They have no info on water right now. Anyone could drop. But with the AWP aggressive, they're not worried about it. They need to be. The bomb is playing late as they fake B. 910, missed shot. He had to hit 1. He had to take 1 with him. Without him, they get picked apart, rotating out. Aggressive Techno can't save this round.
Yeah, he has this 1v2 available right now, but the window on that is going to close quickly. Blitz all the way through the camera, looking for Xantares, and with that kill not coming through, Techno's just going to be left saving, holding on to this M4 into the next. So Eternal Fire, swift with the vengeance there. No trickery in this round. They shut down the A push. They put a stop to Senzu trying to crunch out through dark. And then they kind of split up and end up hitting both bomb sites at the same time. Yeah. But they know that they've dealt with all the pressure once they get rid of that AWP over in main.
It's a really nice call. Mongols, I mean, I wouldn't even say they fall for it because no one actually adjusted. They were committed, but That's the last thing they're expecting. These rugs drops have won Eternal Fire 2 rounds now, playing the bomb very late in that position, right when Mongols think it's clear. So 9-10 having some trouble on this angle.
It's a shame as well. That opening shot was really nice. You know what actually gets him? It's that little magic like stops for half. They're not even half a second, like less time, just 1 second off the W key, and he thinks he's going to walk right into him, and he doesn't. That's a bad feeling for 9-10.
Just awkward, thin margins, you know. But Eternal Fire getting through with clean rounds by and large. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good T side. They've got full control over the money, so really there should be an 8th round about to follow here.
Very well called T side for Madja, dealing with this aggressive Mongols, getting away with some naughty B hits with limited weaponry. He's on a Mach 10 now, he doesn't need to be, he just knows that they don't have anything to play with. But this saved M4.
Not to mention his reads on, you know, when the Mongols are going to switch things up has been fantastic. Like, that round there, you're making the Mongols feel like they can't go for any A aggression. And so then what are they doing? Well, they're just kind of battening the hatches down over in B. That means you're playing in dark, you're vulnerable to the early util. You're playing back in the site. That means Eternal Fire can take that much more space. You're having to play very reactive Counter-Strike. And all the attempts at getting information from the Mongols have often been punished immediately.
As a team that's very good at playing aggressive on CT, you'd almost think that this map would suit Mongols really well, but Eternal Fire are just playing very defaulty at the start and really punishing any plays. Nice flash, but there's 3 CTs in middle, so no result for Eternal Fire. They'll take space elsewhere, realizing they have room. So Xantares dies, but the info he gets is valuable enough that Eternal Fire roll out that red carpet and strut their stuff into an empty site. Okay. Bit weird, but still under control for the most part. Oh, playing with fire. But they brought gloves. Flame-proof gloves, obviously, not like straw gloves.
No,
those wouldn't be too helpful. I don't think they make them.
I don't think they do either.
That, yeah, it's okay.
It's like, yeah,
yeah.
You wouldn't make gloves out of straw. You wouldn't make a house out of straw either, because then the big bad wolf comes and blows it down, and that's what's happening to the Mongols right now.
Yeah, home invasion. There's not much left. A mud hut, and it's raining. Just a fantastic game for Eternal Fire, given that there were definitely rounds that they didn't have business winning.
Yeah, I think the individuals have all looked solid across the board for Eternal Fire.
Yeah.
I think Madge has had some really good calls to go alongside it. This is a bit of a nightmare for the Mongols.
They can save it. 4-round CT can be enough.
Yeah, I mean, the number is still physically, like, attainable. It's just... I don't think you're calling from any position of confidence right now if you're the Mongols. Like, nothing you've done has worked. You feel so restricted in terms of your CT openers right about now.
Even when they've had players in the right places, Eternal Fire have just traded very efficiently.
Madge has just been an absolute menace over here at Dark, too. Like, constantly forcing Senzu out of position. When you give up Dark like this, look at how awkward the B site gets. And now you're going to, what, keep 3 players over here? Mate, that's what Eternal Fire want. You've played right into their hands, getting forced out from the dark control because you feel like you can't fight for this early. And so now Eternal Fire are walking out through middle. Now the Mongols are going to try and adjust to catch this. 9-10 Zorp is homed in on the angle, but he has to hit this opener. If he doesn't, things get out of hand very, very quickly.
Double molly as well. That's really going to stop this split.
Fast out through Temple on the other side of things. Techno, cleanly done. And M4 works wonders.
Oh dear.
Toxic Zorp is still here, going to pluck one from the round. It's him and Calixstone with only 30 seconds left. They're not fighting this battle together. Woxic's going to have to fly solo over here in mid.
It's just bomb retrieval they had it, they could rotate out, but Woxic's trying to pick them apart one by one. If he can get this, he can drop Dark.
He wants to drop, yeah.
Calyx already has the sight. This is an excellent move
Will
for
he get
Woxic. He's dodged it in time. 10 seconds. Blitz can win the round.
Oh,
With shots, and Woxic takes him down. What a disaster for the Mongols. Calyx has put down the fire. Mizzino tries to stop it, but there is no stopping Eternal Fire burning bright in this T side.
That is a buzzer beater. That is so close. 1 second the difference. One shot landing for Blitz. Could have put a stop to this, but instead, Woxic straight styles on the Mongols.
He should not be winning that. What a despicable whiff for Blitz. You do not see this guy whiff like that.
That was so, from on Woxic's end over in middle, the double kill to open up the route to get the bomb back, underhands the smoke, gives himself precisely enough time to drop down here, and then still has to turn around and hit the fast 180 flick. That is prime Woxic.
He is beast mode. And Mongols head in hands. You said they're not calling from a position of confidence. My oh my. How can you recover after that? Just begging for Eternal Fire to let up and let them back in. Even the orb getting lurk smoked. Molly will only buy so long. Flash nade is good rather, but 910's getting burnt out of position. The util has been impeccable for Eternal Fire. And this is all a fake. A Fugazi in A main. As this bomb once again waits outside of the B site. This time Eternal Fire have numbers down in dark.
Spot on the jiggle, sure, and you're able to slow down the dark control, but you don't bite down on any of this info if you're the Mongols. You're not sure what's real and what's fake.
He knows he has to be trap pillar.
They start lobbing out the nades, and they're coming from main as well. Senzu burns alive. Double nade, Molotov combo. Uproots the B-side player. That 910 AWP gets eliminated. And so Eternal Fire gunning for double digits to open up this series.
Oh, dear.
Wakadia with a clean old tap, and now just Mizzino. He's got to admit defeat here. This 1v4, it can't come through. He's boxed out, iced out, trapped in this smoke. And they've got every other angle accounted for. Through process of elimination, they know where Mizzino is, and so Eternal Fire, 10 rounds locked in on a ludicrous T-side to open up this series. TheMongolz, they've been outcooled, outgunned, and outfragged in that first half there. Eternal Fire run away with a dominant lead, 10-2 up as they move into the CT side of their map pick. We had some incredible moments across that first half with the insane 2v5 or 2v4, 2v5 from Woxic and Calix. Really taking the cake for the play that defined that first half.
Just bonkers rounds out of Eternal Fire. And they're going to just go rushing Mongols. Desperate times, call for the most desperate of measures into this B bomb site. Woxic P2K tap away one. The Glocks overwhelm. And this will be the Mongols planting on this B bomb site. Maybe they have a chance here to wake back up. Can Xantares put them to sleep?
Dulberetta's to work with, but he's lost his teammate in Maja.
Ooh.
So Xantares, that first shot's real clean. He's able to go on for a double, and now Wakadia dons the Xantares. Dulberetta's tap on the bomb, forces the fight. Techno dead, and it's Senzu, the man who was bullied and who was struggling from that first half, left to clutch up. He delivers for the Mongols. He was given no chances in the entire first half of Anubis. Was poor Senzu getting bullied down in the connector.
I mean, the fact that Eternal Fire make a 2v4 like that look interesting just speaks to the level that we're getting out of the Turkish side right now. The lack of time decides it ultimately. But they make things very, very scary for the Mongols fans. Xantares forgot his pistol. He's going to have to go back to spawn for that one.
He's just putting them on a level playing field.
Only way you can beat him right now. Full mid stack to Zeus. Couple of screamers, maybe. They're going to just stack up in the middle. This could be awkward, Blitz. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, pretty good actually. Pistols will get their vengeance. Oh my goodness, Maja. That's just a double headshot. AK coming through. Got to win the round now, Techno. Just put it down, and he will. 3 from Techno and 4 for the Mongols. Eternal Fire, buy time.
Yeah, there's still a ways to go before the Mongols are going to feel super comfortable, but I think at least on the T side, you have more agency in how you're going to be making the plays here, right? We saw throughout that first half, you felt pretty stagnant, you kind of struggled. All the attempts at being proactive got shut down early on. And so now at least you can try and build back in. You can get someone like Senzu just to feel like they've actually had a chance to warm up into this game.
Yeah.
Because I think he had the most unenviable first half out of anyone. And sure, a lot of the time he's battling Maja down towards Con, and you think that that might be a good fight, but as we were saying, like it's an easy position with the right util to kind of get involved in and to make life uncomfortable for someone there. So the Mongols were never in a position to succeed. Let's see what they can do as now the rifles come out for Eternal Fire. We've got a grouping down towards that connector, 2 strong in middle, and a solo A-hold for Wakadia.
I like that nade for Xantares because it bounces, it breaks the smoke, it doesn't get him, and also because it pops on the left, if anyone's playing close, they're going to take damage as well. So he just cleared out all of water and realizes no one's actually playing towards B. They leave 2 in middle, Eternal Fire. Smoke fade for Blitz. Somehow he gets the better. But Woxic doesn't move a muscle. He should surely have this trade. It's not a comfortable position, but Blitz on low health needs that trade from Techno. Playing late in the round as his team set up for an A execute. Techno has to win this all.
The fast flank from Maja is shut down. But now they're not ready for Xantares. They might end up discounting this. They're trying to lend time to Techno to come out through middle, but he gets shut down straight away. And so now that backstab for Xantares is very, very potent indeed. Senzu can't offer up a thing. And so this trifecta, Wakadia, Xantares, and Woxic shut down the Mongols' hope on this T side.
They're just not playing very confident, really, right? Like, you see Techno go for that timid swing out camera. If he just follows Woxic, who runs away and reloads Heaven, he had great timing. He can get 2 kills here, but it's a jiggle, it's a timid peek.
On the flip side as well, like the way that Woxic played that round is screaming confidence and like faith in their read of the game. I think a lot of the time you would have awkwardly tried to chase that trade onto Blitz, but he fully believed that Blitz was going to be the one man in middle and that his patience would be a virtue there and that he would nail the shot. He did all 3, repositions into the A site, and then waits patiently, not freaking out about the players in main, not falling for the fact that they're trying to take the attention. He holds the camera, deals with Techno, rounds over. Like, Woxic is so sure in his read and his ability to deal with what the Mongols are throwing his way, and that's scary. They're going to test him in this round now, and Woxic's AK roars to life. Look at him go!
What a monster right now. Woxic just slaughters 3 coming through camera. Take a picture. It'll last longer. Eternal Fire, 12-4 on this CT side. An absolute reckoning on their map pick against the Mongols. And this is for everything, Harry. This is not only for the group stages of Cologne, it's for elimination as well. And the Mongols falling on this map with a whimper. Beautiful shooting for Woxic.
Yeah, this is Woxic having one of those games where it's like the stars are just aligning. He's in the flow state. He knows what the enemies are doing before they're even doing it. And that is a very, very scary Woxic to be up against. That was kind of the reason, you know, when he joined this squad, that's what you were excited about, the promise that he could rebuild to that sort of level, and he very much has.
Techno just got dinked from afar.
Oh, there's a fight we've seen before.
Other side, same result. And the nade even finishes off Techno. Mizzino not much better.
From start to finish here, Eternal Fire have just been better. The individuals have been fantastic. The cooling from Magic was so good. He spent the first like 7-8 rounds of the game conditioning the Mongols to be fearful for just these straight up site takes, these straight up execs, and then he started using that against them with more fakes later in the half. The entire game plan has been fantastic from start to finish here for Eternal Fire on Anubis.
Wrap it up.
The Mongols, they're going to have to look ahead. They're going to have to look to the next map in this series. They've got to hope that they can bounce back on the second and have more success on Mirage, because Anubis ain't it, and they are not getting into the group stage with a showing like that. Yeah, Eternal Fire, they're going to be riding a real high after that opening map. For the Mongols, I have a couple of players I want to keep an eye on here. Techno 4K was kind of the one bastion of hope for my money in that first map. He needs to keep that going. And we need to see more mileage from someone like Senzu, who was getting shut down all across map 1.
I'm a little worried with this pistol setup because Calyx is baiting jump spotting and he's already found a kill, but they don't know about the Julies up close on the balcony. Ugly shots. Team kill comes through. Senzu's on the board, Harry, but not how you want it. He's out of the car right now. Calyx pinched, stuck in the site, and 910 doesn't clear his corner. Luckily, Madge is not listening. He ran all the way up right there. Somehow Mongols have slowed this down and have picked this back up. It's just Xantares stuck in the site and chasing him down, and it will be Mongols with the pistol.
There's been some games on this night where 910's able to step up and take control of matters as well. And so I think with Woxic having a very good day in the office, 910 starting this pistol round off in good form certainly bodes well.
Jacob on the desk talking about how this is a momentum-based team, how they need that strong start if they're going to come back. A T-side pistol is one way to do it. Ugly from Wakadia. I'm not expecting that after a phenomenal last map. Could have won the round single-handedly, it felt like, with that position. And there's still a chance to do it in the second. SMG does a lot of damage to 910. They're out ramp. Calyx saw it. Wakadia, second chance.
Oh, and this time he doesn't Drop the ball. There's the opener on the MP9. Calix's Deagle even finds another in the downtime. Match is going on a big flank all the way through B. So the rest of Eternal Fire here, even if they're just able to chip away with this scout, do a little bit of damage, keep the attention away from Match's backstab. There's still a lot in this round for Eternal Fire. Sure, they lose Calix, but it is this flank that's looking to decide it all. 9-10.
Oh.
I mean, we saw Blitz with a huge whiff in that last one. For Macho, that feels much the same. He feels like he has that dead to rights.
Oh, that's a disaster. He lands on the little lip of the stairs and just wallops him. Oh, dear. You can shrug it off, but a very winnable 2v2. Shame to see Calix even peek there. The call should have been to just chill. Eternal Fire had a flank coming in. They don't need to play. That is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Senzu tapping out Xantares in middle. Good start.
Not a teammate this time, is it?
No.
It's a USP in window.
Look, at this point, we'll take him.
Yeah, he needs whatever he can, I think. Just, you know, just to brush off the last game.
Wake
you can
up.
do that if you start feeling like, you know, your usual self on the second map. Just don't take too much damage in this round. That's really the goal. Like, there's, you know, there's a couple of deagles to worry about. So as a result, you can maybe forgive like one death. More than that, it's way more awkward because of how close the rounds have been already. So you want this to be a clean win. And thus far,
well, there's the one death.
There's the one death. That's the forgivable death. You could say, okay, Senzu didn't realize what he was getting himself in for. Deagle Calix, seen it deliver one already, but not going to in this round. 9-10 continues his strong start. 5-0.
Well handled.
Just the one. Just the one death. And they don't let it get more expensive than that, so that's fine for the Mongols.
I think they know. Lovely stuff. Here comes the buy for Eternal Fire. A map, in all honesty, they haven't played too much, Harry. They're not frequent Mirage puggers. So we'll see if they have the depth here to withstand. And now, possibly, Woken Mongols. Woksek, hero, last map. Trying to peer through window, but smoked off immediately. And again. Very aggressive for Lucadia there. He's going to get out, just about. Meanwhile, they walk dry into this A side, but Woksek's already repositioned very quickly. It's double AWP on the CT side. Woksek falls. 9-10 eats a headshot. They've hunted down Xantares, got a lot of space with that top con smoke, and the other AWP is a long way away. Calix plays very early. Does not wait for his team to join. And yet again, that might be the undoing of Eternal Fire in this round. Now a 2v3. Completely out of position. Oh, as that molly goes. 9-10 gets back out in time.
Oh,
Nice shot. Senzu's back.
well, they'll need him before all is said and done. This is more like it for the Mongols. For Eternal Fire, these CT halves are often where they find the bulk of their successes in Mirage. I mean, this was back at the Major. One of the maps they played Na'Vi on in that quarterfinal ended up being an OT affair. Weren't able to get it over the line, and then it was just kind of a string of rough results on the back of that. So since then, we've not seen it frequented in these Eternal Fire games.
It's not bad enough for them that they're going to ban it, but they're certainly not jumping at the chance to play it. Lots of MP9s here, all on the A site. Magic hoping to block with the smoke on B. Doesn't want to jump the gun and using it, despite some early util from the Mongols. Going to take mid, so it could just be a short split. Eternal Fire getting ahead of this one, though. They're already starting to rotate round. This bomb is uncommitted. In fact, the gamble going wrong, very wrong for Eternal Fire, thanks to this push from Calyx.
Yeah, Calyx,
misinformation.
He didn't, keep pushing. He's just waiting here to see if anyone comes his way or if he hears anything over at ramp. And so because Mizinho's gotten so deep over towards the ramp side, they've got him walk that bomb up through connector. They lose Senzu over at short, but right now the Mongols still in a good position in spite of losing that first man. And there's the 910 AWP getting involved.
Still has a good fight.
Alex, yeah, still going to get back here and ramping. Good timing, but they go and they check it. Mizinho, the one who comes from ramp in the first place, going to sniff him out. Maja, good damage on the 5-7 thus far. He's tagged everybody.
Careful.
He has wounded everyone on the Mongols, and this 5-7 is still doing damage. Maja, this is crazy. They should have never been in a position to win this, or even attempt it, and so finally Maja's been dealt with.
Oh my god.
I can't believe how much damage he just did to even make that interesting.
Yeah, there's no way it should be right there, completely on the wrong side of the map. What a read from Mizinho that the flank's coming in as well. It could have been just checking on timing, but also maybe a realization, like, we've got A for free. Why have they left this? Is it a palace push, background ramp? And Mizinho clears it out perfectly. That's the only way that round gets weird. Calyx having a bit of an unfortunate start to this game. Some over peaks in 3v3s, 3v2s, and then they're getting caught on a flank. Far better sign for the Mongols here on the T side. A half they barely got to entertain on Anubis after going 10-2 down in that first half.
What's really great to me is 910 having gone away from that first map, seeing the impact that his AWPing counterpart on the other side was able to put forward in Woxic, seeing how even when he had a rifle, he was still like the name we were talking about a hell of a lot, and 910's tried to bring and embody that same energy to open up Mirage here. He's a tremendous output to open this up from the 2K and the pistol that helped them walk that round over the line to get off to this sort of beginning. Keeping it going when the rifles came out. And so now just a flat B walk here for the Mongols. Only Maja actually in the site. Wakadi is going to lend a helping hand from short. It's another one of these TK pushes out through the apartments. Last time they were able to win it. And as Senzu battles back, he will reclaim that man advantage. 910's AWP fires off and catches Calyx crossing.
Despite these just team kills on B hits, Mongols are still doing it 4v5. That's a nice peak for 910. Well handled on this execute. Mongols slow it down and clear out Maja from behind that smoke. This is a dominant game right now for the Mongols, just clinical. Once
more, that 910 AWP is just so valuable, right? Like, as Eternal Fire are trying to play the speedy rotates in, he deals with them both. And then suddenly Xantares, who's been rapping through the apartments the entire round, is like, well, I can't play. It's over. Like, it's already out of his hands. God, 10-1.
Terrorists win. No signs of stopping now.
And every time the Mongols have gone B, Eternal Fire have been 6v4, and they still haven't been able to take it over the line.
It's unlucky. Molly bounce, and he's full blind on the entry, so...
Yeah, it was like a real clown fiesta of util.
Team Flash, Team Molly.
in the apartments.
Decoy mode activated.
I think if you're Eternal Fire, this is a round you might be kind of glad you're getting a bit more of a standard start here. You don't have the firepower to deal with it necessarily, but these are the rounds they're more used to playing against, one of these kind of slow mid creeps early on where you try to fight for that initial control.
Not had a lot of mid-control, Mongols. It's been going for sight. Just waiting behind the boxes right now. 9-10 Zorb looking for an entry.
Actually, there's been a lot of similarities between the T sides for both of their both teams on like their map picks.
Yeah, sure.
Very like exec heavy. Early on, you're trying to get them fearful about these sorts of rounds where it is just sort of call from spawn, exec into a site, and then you can use that against them as the game goes on.
It's a decent kill.
Yeah, 1-for-1 over at short. Calyx still over towards B with this M4. They lose match at dueling for the apartments, and a clean flick from Blitz will seal the deal on that round.
Business for Mongols. They're making this look very easy, very capable.
Like, if they somehow one-up the domination that Eternal Fire brought to Anubis, like, that would be mad.
Into Nuke as well.
That would be statement made.
A great map for both teams.
Dude, I hope we get... Because that third map, I think, is the potential to be a giga banger, as it were.
Yeah, that's...
Did anyone ever say that? That's like the highest order of bangers.
I know a guy. Fast out middle this time, but they want to challenge it. Caught with nades out is Blitz as Woxic swings middle. It's 1-for-1. Meanwhile, Lurkers have done very well, but Mizzino double dinged. Calyx finally holding his own in an important mid-round. 4-on-3 here for Eternal Fire as Mongols come crawling up connector. Oh my, that's
ballsy from Techno, but it will work out. He's got a nice little foothold over here towards jungle. Is he ready for Calyx? Tries to flick back and deal with him, and Calyx gets out on 1 HP. That softens him up for the 9-10 pistol. But now he's got to embark on this clutch 1v3 as it begins. Tap on the bomb. Wakadia rooting around through the spawn, and Madja hoping an angle opens up to this AWP on the catwalk. But it's not going to anytime soon, and Calyx is...
What a spot.
Wakadia rather has confirmed that now. 9-10 goes looking for him. Orb trained in, but it just misses the mark.
I've never seen anyone crouch there before. That's a crazy off angle. Like, he's not... The corner's so deep, it doesn't even look deep. Goes clearing, has to just flick, even though he had advantage. Against a rifle, maybe not, but knowing that's an AWP, very well handled by Wakadia, and double kill from Calyx as well when we needed it. Oh, some stress. Centaurus not having a hot start in the connector. It's an annoying little smoke push for Techno. Cheeky stuff. Mongols feeling the freedom to make some plays here in this game. It's not Anubis anymore.
Yeah, but you know, like seeing Zentaris get that angry.
No.
But
it doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen often, and he still cares right now. And as long as you know you channel that anger into pumping yourself back up,
yeah,
then it's fine. You know, if that's what it takes to bring you back in, because they're not happy with how this has started. This is in that first map. They were laughing. The vibes were immaculate.
Yeah.
You could feel it radiating through the room. But now they're feeling how the Mongols did earlier on.
Yeah.
And so we have to see, can Eternal Fire bounce back from that? You're getting pissed because you know you can do better. Now we're seeing the nature of the game change a little bit. The Mongols taking all the pace out. Waiting to see if Eternal Fire give them anything to open up this round.
Yeah, they're full executing aid, but it's all a bit of a farce right now. Zentaris is going to completely clear it and drop a Molotov. This is just looking so clear to Eternal Fire that it's a fake, but it's the backstab they really have to worry about. Coming up connector is an entourage of T's. And that AWP has been spotted in the Palace as well. So this is attention diverted for Eternal Fire. They're going to clear it anyway.
Calyx is the one responsible for the mid component right now. And so he kind of has to get a move on. They know where he is. Zentaris is getting burnt down under the Palace. Calyx still battles back. I don't know if they noticed it. It was Antares they got down in the kill feed, and so Calix just lays waste to the Mongols. Leaves it all on Senzu. Last man from this connector contingent of the round. With only 20 seconds left, there's no hope for him here. Eternal Fire, one step ahead there.
I like the idea for the Mongols, but yeah, it's still a little split up. The ramp player doesn't come out at the right time, and or at least in tandem with his team, because they're contact, and you're double under balcony for Eternal Fire, which is just the perfect counter. We've seen a lot of CT spawn playing for Calix, and this would have been a lot more effective if he was there. So Eternal Fire read it well and find a second round, bit by bit, trying to get back in.
And considering, you know, that's like a more unorthodox CT hold of that A site, it comes together beautifully for Eternal Fire. They all have great understanding of what they're responsible for, how they're meant to respond on the back of the contact that they get. That flowed really well. And so, over the last couple of rounds now, Eternal Fire are getting more and more to feel happy with behind this CT side.
Very confident for Wicardia, but he's going to pay the price. So Antares did find a 5v4 by spraying his HE at top mid. And he doesn't see Mongols right now, but they're all tucked out behind the boxes and the corner. So Antares full smokes himself off, giving this mid control away yet again. Wicardia feeling like an unnecessary overcommitment from short has plunged Eternal Fire into darkness. They don't know what's going on right now. Crawling up connector yet again. Woxic, too many angles, has to relegate himself to the stairs, and his flank from Calix isn't even happening. He's just sat in Palace. Woxic misses that timing on the turn, and Calix has to come back to stop this plant. They know he's here somewhere. Where's he gotten off to?
Oh, well, he's going to get out with one. But it's an instant trade for Techno 4K. No kills is going to get offered up to this orb that finds its way to Match's hands, and so you might just be looking at the save here. Not really a defeat you want to admit to if you're Eternal Fire, as you started to streak some rounds together just then. You're not given much of a choice. You're so out of position here, and now Techno is even trying to hunt down these two saving players. That will have implications in the follow-up round if he's able to deal with them both. But he would need both kills. Antares will not let that happen. And so the save now at least allows Eternal Fire to have the AWP in the next round and full guns. They're now in that exact same position that the Mongols were in back on Anubis, where they're shooting for 4 rounds at the end of this first half.
A lot less of an explosive T-side now for Mongols. They're doing some slow mid-takes, some con splits, just walking up through smokes. It's looking very nice regardless. The numbers are there. The Eternal Fire getting dust kicked up in their face, going to try and change the pace, run up top mid. Antares going for it right now. 910's going to stop him in his tracks. It's still a trade this time. Wicardia starts on the A side, leaving Maj on the solo B AWP. He's going to play a locked in, easy kill for him. 4v3 now. Wicardia tucks tail and reinforces B yet again. So we're back to a more standard setup here for Eternal Fire as the Mongols have to mid-round. This is a nice push, though. Given they just saw an AWP in B, they will not be expecting this move. Wicardia park, pull the brakes. Mongols are going to try and split the B site.
Maj's AWP bears down on this. Oh, wait a second. He just went to leave, but gets back on the angle in time. And now when you see that, you can anticipate this push up through the apartments. So Wicardia gets that one for free. And it's another unwinnable clutch attempt for Senzu, as he's just going to bow out of the round with this AK.
Yeah, save is definitely worth it here at this point. Not got a wealth of economy near the end of the half of the Mongols, so Eternal Fire gunning for 4 rounds on their CT side of Mirage. Better late than never, but a very different game. Haven't even said Woxic's name in this map. Went from a 1.7 rating last game to being a non-factor.
I mean, in this in this round, Madja found more success on that AWP than Woxic has in the CT side so far.
Yeah, he's starting window. He's getting, top mid smoked, window smoked every single round. So it's not like there are fights in middle. But past that point, I couldn't even tell you really where he's rooting. He's just not really playing into any of these A hits.
Yeah, I also feel like, though, the rounds where you've seen him don the AWP are the rounds where Calyx has gone aggressive, and the aggressive play, the way he's playing over towards the Palace, hasn't synergized well with the AWP trying to hold the site. It feels like he's getting shot in the side of the head a lot, which is very infuriating.
Calyx has missed some timings as well.
But now the money's broken for the Mongols, and so for Eternal Fire, they might get that 4 they were looking for. That's one of the better chances Woxic has had at the start of a round, and that miss, don't have that miss be the one that comes back to haunt them as the Mongols explode out through the catwalk. Madja withstands the B hit for now, and Woxic joins him on this AWP. And we saw Madja bring the AWP over, he found success. Will Woxic do the same? That's not a bad way to start, but lost inside of this smoke. Mazinho with a MAC-10 and 2 low HP players laid out right in front of him.
Just waiting it.
He could still make this weird yet. Madja and Woxic are both a shot from death. And so will Mazinho be able to deliver that?
Saw him.
Knows about the first, but he's waiting for info on the second. The longer he stays here, the less they expect it. Right now, Eternal Fire think they've cleared out B.
Bliss is faking, and he's
They've got no clue.
Oh, he saw him. Maybe on the map.
He flicked
Did they
back.
turn?
No! Woxic gets sideswiped, and now Madja just holds on at 8 HP. So Eternal Fire, they locate Mazinho, and then they find their 4th. TheMongolz might have extinguished the fires inside the team, but now they've got to douse the fires eternal. 8-4 up after that first half of TheMongolz. A convincing foot put forward here on their map pick in the series. The progression into the group stage of IEM Cologne on the line versus elimination. Both teams giving it all they've got. This one might still have some legs left on it. Nuke waiting in the wings as that third and final decider should we need it.
Yeah, bound to be a banger, but I'm not going to count out Eternal Fire of a comeback here on the T side, right? They've pieced together some very nice T sides already in this tournament. And Maja called a wonderful one on Anubis. Of course, a very different map. Mongols have stepped up to the task here in the second of the series, and we don't see that quiet Senzu. We're getting big rounds out of 910's AWP, and that's what we bargained for coming into this series. So better late than never for the Mongols, but is it enough as we go into this CT side? It certainly should be. Full execute for Eternal Fire being laid up on the A side. Mazzino playing CT, always risky without a kit. It's a retake setup here. Heavy in middle, they'll find nothing, and really the flank timing shouldn't allow for much. Senzu is going to send it and try and get through T-spawn, but they need to thin the herd or stall the plant.
Smokes come out for Eternal Fire.
Bomb is late. Super late. It's on the nade player.
One of those smokes misses too, but Calix does what he can to make up for it. He's gone and taken the control over stairs away.
Oh.
And battling back against 910 is a big deal, but there's the flank for Senzu, that plant, that late plant that you mentioned. Comes back to haunt them here. Eternal Fire, they were hoping they were going to be 4-on-3 with bomb planted and everyone watching it from the connector side, that path that Calix had carved on out earlier. Instead, they've got to retake A. They've got to recommit to these fights and get that bomb planted. They've got a low HP Techno 4K trapped in the spawn, and over in at ramp, Senzu also takes one of the dome. All three players have been dinked for the Mongols. Wakadia, 3 bullets could win him the round. There's the first. Does he have any more left in the tank? Jiggle from the spawn. He knows where Techno is. He's trying to locate Blitz. Feeling like he's pieced this one together, but now Wakadia is low as well. Finished off by that push over the stairs.
Yeah, I guess Maja's the captain. He wants to do everything. He wants to support his team in the best way possible, but that's a complete mess to be throwing the full execute on A and the flashes and have the bomb. You need your team after they take the space to plant. Maybe they're expecting more resistance, but because Mongols are playing heavy mid, playing CT safe, Eternal Fire never even get the bomb down. That smoke's already fading. Even if they have the space, Senzu's flank is so important. Disastrous round to lose there for Eternal Fire. That should be theirs. The bomb is anywhere else. This is where Mongols can start to run away with the game now. A full eco to take double digits, and there should be little resistance, if any. 1 kill up mid. Make it 2. It's a P250, Harry.
Second.
I am counting my chickens. I've got one of them.
That second shot was beautiful.
Yeah. And he's been hurt.
Yeah, Mazzino should have this locked in, no problem. And even if he doesn't, Senzu's there.
All right. It's going to be a little bit more tricky now for the Turkish side. Nothing to break their fall. And you questioned whether Mongols could one-up it after losing 13-4 on Anubis. Well, that's out of the window, but they certainly could match it. Maybe that'll do.
Trying to feign they're taking the mid control early. Zantares goes there and lobs out some util, but Senzu's playing with confidence. He's just swung out from short and confirmed there's no one in mid for Eternal Fire. So that re-smoke down at the top of Con shouldn't do much to further the goal of faking this mid-hit for Eternal Fire, meaning the Mongols haven't overreacted. They've still got bodies over here towards A. They lose out on Blitz, but 910 is still in the picture here. In an awkward spot, he'll get boxed in. Maja gets rid of him, and this Techno MP9 never gets the ball rolling. It's just Senzu left. And so even though the Mongols pieced together what was happening there, Wasn't fast enough to adjust to it. It wasn't fast enough to get ahead of it. Eternal Fire, the pace does them well.
A nice explosive ramp pop, and I like that Xantares, even after faking mid with a molly, like you said, he goes back to spawn and re-smokes connector on a delayed timing. So even if Eternal Fire aren't middle, they don't have to worry about short. There's no, player catching them crossing. They can take all the space in A, get towards CT without a standard A execute. So good position covering for Eternal Fire. Techno got triple dinked in CT as well, so some sharp shooting. One more on the board. Single gun saved, and a bit of a dire economy for the Mongols.
Yeah, I think the thing that's always going to be, inescapably worrying right now for the Eternal Fire squad is your game is being held together by Maja, Wakadia, and Calix. Two of those not really front runners for the names that you would put in that position, right? Yeah. And when you look at the cams, when you look at how Eternal Fire are looking, Woxic feels like he's been a bit on autopilot here in this second map from the hot start that he had to the series. And Xantares has been visibly frustrated, bordering on enraged at how some of these rounds have gone. And I don't think that's what you want from two of your 3 stars if you're going to need to embark upon this T-side comeback.
They have really been non-factors.
Don't get me wrong, Wakadia and Calix and Maja alongside them are like helping you tread water right now. But if you want to overtake in this marathon swim, you're gonna need Xantares or Woxic, and ideally both. And
then I heard once you finish swimming, there's a 3-mile run and a bike ride waiting for you. So time to summon all the energy you have left and make a dash for that group stage here at Cologne. As Eternal Fire try and do it in 2, Mongols attempt to long this series out. We're back in round number 16.
Yeah, this is kind of the real swing moment of this second map. It's a low buy for the Mongols, and they put everything into this round. If they lose this, they're broken, so the gap starts to close very, very quickly. Xantares, at this critical juncture, is either the man to get 2 kills on the opener or just that one and done. And so he gets traded after the fact. If he gets both there, that tees up Eternal Fire for a reasonably easy round victory. They'd be 5-on-3 up with the Mongols over-rotating instead. It's even odds, and so the Mongols start probing. They start checking elsewhere. Blitz pushing in through lower is going to be hot on the heels of these players out through the apartments.
Oh, dear.
And he even starts to play ahead of time on a feeling. He hears that util getting thrown in from Maja now. He knows he's got a kill right here on a silver platter. In with the backstab. Blitz has done work. Forces them into Techno 4K and Mazinho in this B-site hold. Wakadia and Calix, they've been the two keeping Eternal Fire even in this game. So let's see if they can deliver something in this 2-on-3. Wakadia seems to think so.
No kit either. The captain of the Mongols, the second highest performer, and no information as he enters the darkness of this B-bomb site. He's got to clear out Calix, who's not looking the right way right now. Easy frag, but blocked by the bench. Calix peeks ahead and takes that round for Eternal Fire. You would have had your money on Mongols with that big flank underpass for Blitz, catching the util from Maja, doing even more damage, but some clean entry work from Wakadia, checking the site and going one step further into market. Takes matters into his own hands. Blimey. That's going to break the money.
Xantares and Woxic might be like the de facto stars of the team, but they owe so much to the other 3 in this game for keeping them in it.
They're here for the ride.
This is wild scenes. Yeah, the Mongols had every advantage in that round.
Yeah.
4-on-4, sure. In terms of just the numbers game, that favors the T side. But Blitz had the info as the B player ahead of time. He had extra damage on the backstab. That 4-on-3 as they take the site. All the stars had aligned for the Mongols.
Oof.
And it's the individuals of Eternal Fire, the individuals of Wakadia and Calix that turn the tides.
Some eco kills can bolster the confidence, so let's see if Woxic can get activated now. He's got his 5th kill there on a deagle. It's going to be hyper important once we hit rifle rounds. Mongols will have theirs soon. B is completely open, and Eternal Fire are about to figure that out. Yeah, they heard that one. Jump shot for Xantares. Flying high. And flying blind is Mazzino. He doesn't know how many players are about to explode out of the apartments. Done a lot of damage, but no kill for it. So Eternal Fire should be walking this over the line and into the face for Mazzino. He's done damage. Woxic saves the day. A moment of desperation there for Mazzino. Almost comes up with gold.
This gap is going to start closing very, very quickly, and with each round it gets scarier. For the time being, you know that the Woxic-Xantares duo have been a little bit of a non-factor. They haven't been super involved. The frustration's been getting to them, but with each round that passes, as Eternal Fire are building back in, they start to come alive. With each round that goes by, the chance of them reigniting goes up.
There's no kit here. It's a bit awkward. Techno had the money.
And every round they win hits for 2. So really, there's 2 rifle rounds in this between Eternal Fire and a tie game.
Bit by bit. They're looking very focused on this B-bomb site right now. We've seen another setup in apartments. Orp is desperately looking for a mid-pick, and the Mongols are playing right by not giving him the satisfaction. 9-10 tasked with holding A. Eternal Fire, late middle, minute on the clock. Good block on short, knowing that these B splits have been a problem already. Not wanting to give Eternal Fire open runway to this bomb site. Good grenade, but Mazzino comes up with a kill instead as Xantares continues his frustrations on this second half. Jump Spot gets information. May have even seen the bomb there as well. Eternal Fire don't feel like they can commit to this. They get re-blocked at 30 seconds. There's still another smoke on the A site. There may be no kit, but I don't know if this round will get that far as Eternal Fire try and make that quick short split and get into the triple B stack.
Yeah, they're trying to lend a bit of room to Woxic right now to make a play, but he's just hopped off the catwalk. Ooh. He's trying to sell the A fake right now. Ooh. Techno gets deleted by Wakadia as he barrels out through the apartments. They've got to get past Senzu and they can't manage it. Maja, it's his time. Dropping in 10 seconds. Buzzer beater of a round and Blitz puts a stop to it. No dastardly stuff around the clock this time for Eternal Fire.
I don't know why Woxic would try and go back and fake, because he's just completely... Even if he gets a kill, there's no time for the Mongols to even leave their positions, really. He's so reliant on his team succeeding, and he can be a part of that. If he comes up short right there, he can assist on that B hit. Eternal Fire find a fantastic entry, but Senzu does deliver. And that's enough for Mongols. 2 kills, providing room for his team to rotate in. Weird one for Woxic. It's one thing missing your shots, but that seems like a very strange decision to make with so little time and little room for error in the round.
Back to an A hit. Maja and Calix both having to take the hit in terms of the firepower. Xantares gets the AK alongside Wakadia and Woxic gets his AWP, but like you need the output now from these guns because the entire game is riding on it. And Xantares dies straight away. That AWP picks him out from the round. 9-10 on a wide swing. Wakadia also falls. That's both the AKs removed. And the hope's dying for Eternal Fire in front of your eyes to turn around Mirage. Just Maja and Woxic left standing. Weapon retrieved at least. But this A site looks terrifying. The Mongols have had time to bring everyone around, and now they're even starting to hold these contingency plans and watching onto that rotate from top middle. And so once again, in one of these moments, Woxic splits away from the pack, leaves Maja to go it alone. He's going to try and look for something elsewhere on the map, and he seemed aware of that, but edging around the corner into Senzu further off the angle, that's an easy shot for him to hit. And now Maja is all alone.
Dear.
That AWP gets aligned, and 9-10 brings the Mongols onto map point, now just 5 kills away from making up for that slow start and taking us onto Nuke.
He's been the savior in this map, no doubt. 9-10 put on a fantastic first half as well with some, he was 10-1 at the start of the game, was getting some crucial entry kills on an AWP as well, cracking open bomb sites, and now putting together a multi-kill to stop that A explosion for Eternal Fire. This might be all said and done on Mirage. One more round, 5 to find it, and some great shots to connect on this A hit. Lovely work for the Mongols to be able to reset so efficiently, despite getting absolutely embarrassed on that opener. Nuke seeing like a necessity in this qualifying, progressing series for stage 2.
And this is why, seeing all this frustration on someone like Xantares and seeing him struggle is a hard, a very bitter pill to swallow if you're Eternal Fire. This guy gets the good spots. He gets all the attention into trying to set him up, so you need him to output from that. Even in this round, the potential last round of the map, he's been given that gun, and it's gone in middle, while Wakadi is having to try and do it with the Deagle. Woxic has grandfathered the AK from the body of Xantares and looks for a little bit more, but sniped out from Techno. 2 on 3. The Mongols a man down. Calyx dotting that AWP, gets rid of Techno over on the shore side, and Senzu gifted 1 kill, sure, but he's very far removed from the round.
Unless they face him in CT and give him a reason to go for this, he shouldn't. Major is in the open, but flicks back in the last second. If Senzu goes wide there, that might be a 1v1 he'll consider attempting. Instead, it's a clutch-up round for Eternal Fire with an entry from Xantares, Wakadia, and Woxic, the 3 stars of the show, all delivering a deathly blow to the Mongols. 1 more round. And a round 1 with very little. That was a single hero AK-47. So Eternal Fire make much out of very little.
Yeah, I think critically as well, it's a round where Xantares and Woxic can both be proud for what they contributed, right? That AK kind of tandem play out through middle. They both get a kill with it. They both make it work. And then Wakadia keeps up what he's been doing throughout this entire map. Doing more with less.
He's going to have to keep that up. Galil in here. Woxic's got his AWP. Spawns. Not too bad for A, but Eternal Fire have been taking mid over and over. This is a full eco here for the Mongols, playing for that next round. We've got a couple of Deagles purchased.
Oh, that's
spicy.
Oh, and a missed window smoke as well. That's really not ideal. They don't have a lot of util in this round anyway, so the idea that you've lobbed one in and you've missed it.
They're very split as well, which let these Deagles take 1v1s, so if 9-10 can position well, he could shave a couple off the top, Harry.
Madge is also out of the round, so has to take the reins while not actually being present. Hopes that everyone else is able to kind of piece together what he wants them to do.
Oh dear, this could go very wrong.
The Mongols are stacked over
towards
A.
I'm so worried. I've just got a bad feeling, Harry. I've got a bad vibe for this round at the moment. 2 Deagles on A.
And Eternal Fire are walking into the stag.
Ooh.
They either overcome this challenge and then have to face far greater ones, or they fall down in the worst way up against this eco round from the Mongols. Calyx and Woxic are doing whatever they can, but it's got to be Woxic and Xantares now to deliver in this 2-on-2. Mezzinho with a crazy flick down, and Woxic gets finished off. The pistols do it for the Mongols. They'll get their revenge. They'll answer back on Mirage, and they'll send this on to Nuke.
No more 13-4s, please. I want all the rounds, I want some overtimes, and I want one of these teams in the Cologne group stage.
Well, we'll find out who's going to be getting there in around about an hour's time. Now we got to watch them earn it. The Mongols with a T-side start. And Eternal Fire heavy on the dual Berettas here, light on the util. They plan on just shooting them. And
Wow.
Xantares, he's certainly living up to that right now. As he opens this pistol round, hitting a blinder onto 9-10 out in the yard.
Just pops him in the skull. We've got Julie being baited in for on ramp. 3 strong here already. Mongolz will not be committing to that position. And that's an ugly entry. It will come through, but not enough as Xantares is undetected. And an expert with the USP. 3 kills and a hype pistol round for Eternal Fire.
And I want to draw attention there, even at the celebration at the end of the round. Everyone kind of leans in and is hyping up Xantares. I think they know that he needs that confidence boost right now.
You want him on your side, that's for sure. Look at this one, just blinder. Uncleared and goes on for the hat trick.
Like, look at that. Major is letting him know. You've done fantastically. And so they want more of that from him. Cross out in the yard, but in doing so, they're going to find themselves squaring off against this Woxic Xantares crossfire. And Woxic, armed with the Org, sat back at the stairs. There should be no way into this for the Mongols. Xantares back on our screens in a big way. Yeah. It's back-to-back triple kills to find the first 2 rounds for Eternal Fire.
Terrifying sign for the Mongols, right? If Xantares is coming through swinging in just the first couple of rounds, he's going to be surely a factor in this game to worry about. That was not a concern on Mirage. And on CT side, Nuke no less, where he's going to have full dominion of this outside control. Fighting you in door, swinging you when you're silo. Very oppressive player when he's feeling it. Oh, Wicardia, he's got enough of a call to say, I don't think they're making it down the vent there with my smoke in front of yours. So Xantares fighting freely outside, headshot immediately, back to reality. This is not exactly a good buy for Eternal Fire. They've got 3 MP9s with this Org. And the latter of which pre-dropping lower. I actually like the gamble here. It's the wrong call, but Eternal Fire are risking it. They know they have to make something crazy happen if they're going to win with this kind of buy. So they're going to play aggressive enough that they can come back up and still get a quick flank timing on this A main position. I'd like to see them commit here, especially as they hear the util come in, but it feels like Mongols are going to have an undefended A site.
Yeah, they hear the footsteps. They know exactly what's happening now. They made the decision to drop on down and they clear out the lower side of the map. And they hear the util, the footsteps. They know they've lost upper, but still, you've kind of missed the window on this being a great timing for the flank. The Mongols actually up and leave door,
really smart,
and they all play with inside of the site, trying to eliminate the chance that these SMGs are just able to pick them off one by one.
Yeah, Blitz could have gone for fights there, but he just decides, I'd rather make money and let them save their SMGs. I'm getting out of here. Sees the molly go, knows he has a window to escape. So actually, well handled by the Mongols to not overdo it. They still want to escape the bomb. That's the hardest part. Wicardia knows it, playing for exits, gets one more, just trying to chip away.
Imagine, Xantares being told, don't worry, look, the round passed us by, but we don't want you to stop going for these sort of plays. We want you to keep trying to be involved early. You want him riding a high. So they at least get out with their guns in check. The Mongols get on the board.
We're going to see a lot of round trading, I think, in this game, right? Teams playing economy. Of course, Nuke, save-heavy map. When it's allowed.
I think both the first maps had a lot of kind of aggressiveness and agency behind the moves we were seeing. This is far more respectful. Like, both teams have kind of earned each other's respect over the course of this series. Xantares looks like he wants to make a play here. Swings on out from Secret. If he could get away with a double, that's huge. What about all three? Xantares. That's why they say to him, keep making these plays. Keep testing the limits. A huge round from Xantares after a quiet second, one where he was enraged. Him and Woxic both finding success to kickstart this final map in the series, the one that could send you into the group stage. And that is exactly what you want to see if you're Eternal Fire. And now Xantares is getting loud.
Yeah, I'm terrified of our Mongols right now. Doing some very slow outside walks into Xantares, who is 9 at 3 triple kills.
In the last hour, the only time you heard Xantares was when he was angry at himself, he was swearing at himself, he was slamming the desk. That was all you were hearing from the guy. But he lets out a war cry there. A statement has been made by Xantares on the 3rd map of this series. 9-1 to open. And Woxic, you know, might not be living up in the fragging department to that level, but he has been anything but problematic here as Woxic. Just harassing them with the AUG out in the yard. 3-0, hasn't died yet, hasn't been a problem for Eternal Fire. On the player cams, you see him talking a lot more. I think one of the things we kind of noticed down Mirage with him having such a bad game was he looked like he got a little bit quiet. He kind of internalized a lot of the problems he was having.
Use the word autopilot. I think that really, this is a map you can't play on autopilot. Mirage is so much easier to fall back into those routines, and you need to be so vigilant, so aware of what you're giving up and what you're taking back. They should know they're in Garage right now. They heard and Molly hit a player in the smoke. Where's that player gone? It's Garage. Calyx dropping lower. Woxic gets caught falling out of the heaven, and Blitz is taking more and more space. Even if Xantares gets this kill, how aware will he be for a second lurker? They can stall on the ramp room. Let Mazinho play. Creeping down B are the rest of the gang, but they're going into the stack.
Calyx takes that first bit of contact. He's got Wakadia there alongside him to try and lend a helping hand, but you're dead on. The Mongols are going to lend this time to Mazinho, see what he can cook up.
Oh, they've read it, but do they know about Heaven?
They're trying to remove that from even being a factor, right? Yeah. With the Mongols having ramp. They've gone and taken back the lobby control, and now Eternal Fire even clearing the ramp room. They know this is through Heaven. It is the only spot on the map that's left. So Xantares blinded off the angle, but he at least gets out alive. Wakadi is dealt with on the flank in from behind, and Maja can't quite wrestle that kill away from Techno. So even though the Mongols were known about, even though Eternal Fire were ready for it, they're able to battle through.
Mad that a flash just honestly wins them the round, even though Xantares is eyes on the prize there. The rest of Eternal Fire set up. He gets pushed back. They lose hut control. They have to go back into lobby. It all just comes crumbling down from a really great position for Eternal Fire, where they have so much info. Calyx trying to escape is no easy task, but he will get out. And Mongols, great mid-rounding, doing the double lurk in Garage. Last thing Eternal Fire expect. They feel like they've cleared the lurker, especially when it's Blitz who they see in Garage, the captain, the mastermind. But there's more where that came from. The Mongols use trickery and pull the wool over Eternal Fire's eyes to find a second. There's Molly here. I really thought was going to be the realization that there were players in Garage, but Woxic was not aware in the slightest.
Really curious, because Senzu ended up with that AUG because they killed Woxic, and like that's the only reason he's got one. Then again, you ever really see him play with it, but now he's donning it into this round, so like what's his idea going to be behind using the AUG? Takes it up on top of Silo. Going to look to deal with Woxic, who's finally getting to don the AWP. He's had money for it for a little while now, but because he bought that AUG up in the second, he's been playing it ever since then.
Molly's too late, they're already down Secret, so... Of course, Eternal Fire are aware of this possibility, should not be dropping Vent. Oh my god, they've dropped Vent. Loud as well. It's Xantares after all, and Blitz hears that coming. Mongols slow it down, they get 4 into Secret. Xantares caught. Gotta be careful, they start running him down, they know they have some room, and he re-swings. A bit stubborn on the fight there, didn't feel like he could have escaped though. With that position being given away, Calyx just about getting set up in the lower bomb site. They've walked past Techno in the door.
Oh, Techno could end this whole round before it even has a chance to begin, but Woxic now rotating in towards lower. That AWP fires off for a kill on a 9-10. The Mongols, they don't want to jump the gun on this, not with Techno clearing out this top site. The fact that they've bypassed each other means that that bomb can rotate up through the vents. Now, will Maja beat them to the punch, getting around towards the door? The bomb doesn't come up right away. Instead, Techno is re-clearing the lobby.
What a read. How?
Wakardi is still here, still able to fight for control over the top site, and he drops in and deals with the round.
This game is insane because you don't know who's going to win at any point. Like, you feel like one team has all the info, has all the position, and then they just get shot in the side of the head. The rotates we're seeing right now are out of this world, and no surprise, Mara calls for a pause. This is getting out of control. That was madness. What a read from Techno. He felt like, no, if A is clear, if I've walked out up, but they've got to have lobby, but I have lobby. So wait, where are they?
This is like
together perfectly. It's still not enough.
Some weird paradox of a game. Both teams are 2 seconds ahead of each other.
Yeah.
But how does that happen? You know, they're always both 2 seconds ahead of each other. It's insane what we're getting right now.
Someone's behind. I
Two clairvoyant captains facing off.
Yeah, it's a game where you can't really read what's going on. This is a bit awkward for Xantares. Feeling like he really wants to get involved, but 4 players in secret, all of them holding. They're not hurrying to make that play. They force him to swing them. Doesn't matter. His team carry him through. 10-2 on Xantares still. We actually have Mongols going for a force buy here with almost no utility. Smokes go outside.
Xantares is on his, like, just straight beast arc right now. He has run all the way through lobby to open up this round, and he did that from spawn. That was his opener. Just run through the door and clear lobby. Even though they find Woxic out in the yard, no good deed goes unpunished here.
Now they know their secret, so Maja can drop and actually play a little bit safer this time. He's got a Molotov. He can go back stairwell.
I would love to see him get out of the vent.
Yeah.
I guess that means, then he's dedicated down low, but this is just an objectively better angle.
Yeah, and he can duck away, throw his molly if he wants. He can play the B-bomb site. It means he's taking players with him here rather than just allowing a bomb plant. This is a perfect round to try and deny that. Does some damage and doesn't overdo it. It's a perfect play for Maja, blocking the double door as well. He should have a kill guaranteed here if they commit down lower. He could be anywhere. Xantares is so keen to play. Comes creeping down the vent. Vizino, oh no, he thinks about that one too many times, and he will get punished. Maja re-aggressing, and Eternal Fire playing an oppressive style of Counter-Strike on CT Nuke.
Yeah, I think if it was many other players making the moves that Xantares is doing right now, you would say, don't ever play like this.
Yeah.
But he like is just essentially trying to like force confidence through, and it's working, man.
Like this is just almost unnecessary because his team are double secret.
Even in the round where he drops vent, I think if you ever showed him that, he would say, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's not a good play."
Yeah, that's a bad play. Yeah,
he's trying to force the fight. He's trying to force the confidence back into his game, and it's working. He's 11-2 for crying out loud.
The best part about Nuke is that you almost, because of, if you're not just dealing with rushes constantly, and Mongols haven't set that precedent, you almost always just have a player who can float and play rotation and start double ramp or drop down secret or vent or swing outside with your team. You kind of just have excess parts, and Xantares is surplus to requirement right now. He's just going wherever he wants, doing what he wants. His team are playing around him, giving him the room, and he can just be threatening all over the map at the moment. So that's a big problem for the Mongols, who are just going to flood main.
I mean, it's what you want from a big game player, isn't it?
Yeah.
Xantares.
In the right place.
There's the backstab. He wasn't even needed. Woxic and Wakardia made quick work of it. And so that trifecta that started this series so strong back on Anubis, Woxic, Wakardia, and Xantares are all looking good to open this up, with Xantares really hitting a peak down the tail end of this series.
They surely won't do this because they want to play like a standard round and actually get the chance, because they're getting in all these nice positions. They're getting players down lower and they're getting outside control, and the wall isn't getting broken. So there are lots of options for Mongols, but I almost wonder what would happen if they just went for a top rush, right? Like, it's the kind of round you want to limit test on a half buy, but if they went for a top rush, I think they would probably probably break in. Eternal Fire have not dealt with any pace in this game right now. They've been bringing the action, in fact. So let's see what Mongols want to cook up after this tactical timeout. For crying out loud, Calyx is 5-0 on ramp. Like, you know, Mongols are not throwing everything at Eternal Fire. They're kind of just going through the motions of outside smokes and seeing what they can do with them.
I mean, I think that's another problem. That you touched on it earlier, this idea that you have this extra man, and it is Xantares right now roaming around the map. Well, the Mongols play a very rotate-heavy T side. They like the trickery of going between the sites. They often use that against opponents here on Nuke, and you're not getting to do that right now because the guy you run into roaming is Xantares, the guy who's 13-2 and absolutely destroying your hopes and dreams of getting to those Cologne groups.
Ooh,
but finally, they found a way in over towards ramp. They deal with Calyx and Woxic on the openers. But already down at lower. There's a rotate in for Eternal Fire, and Xantares has just materialized before their very eyes over in hell. The map starts to shrink on down now for the Mongols, and they're only left with this play down into B. And Wakadia is already here.
There's no way they clear this. There's no reason Wakadia should or could or would be here. So he can just stop that bomb pod in its tracks, and he knows another player must be nearby. Techno over the top, and Wakadia had no business winning that fight. Why is he in dark? Say the Mongols. How is he in dark? Pre-rotating before they'd even lost ramp in a 5v3. He's already dropping down lower. And sure, Eternal Fire get keen. Calyx re-aggresses. Woxic peeks in a Molotov. And that just opens up the path into the trap.
No, I mean, the kind of recovery and reinvention of the player across this series very rarely occurs in a manner as obvious as this, is what you're seeing from the likes of Xantares. And now the team in around him, who were playing well anyway, with the exception of Woxic, are now starting to spring to life. In suit with that, Wakadia fast vent drop, but he's not ready for Techno, who's already down here.
That's what I meant, though. Like, Mongols haven't tried anything fast, so Eternal Fire aren't respecting that they can. And so Calyx is caught, you know, rotating out of ramp with a knife out or nades out. You know, Mongols finally limit test, which you don't want to do with AKs. It's far more effective with Tech 9s, and they get away with it. I wonder if Madge is calling, I'm going to try sneak this defuse, but Mongols can afford to die on the hill of the bomb, and it's a Stralis plant as well, so I don't think this one's realistic. They're going for the last second 3v5. They've been spotted as well. No element of surprise here for Eternal Fire. There's one kill, there's two kills. Madge is exploding out of nowhere, but the clock is still ticking to the favor of the Mongols. 1v2 as Xantares, as good as he's been. A team kill will do, whatever gets you over the line.
Ooh, that's Eternal Fire trying to, like, throw the reminder of the Mongols' way. You're 5-on-3, but we're playing with a lot of confidence. We're still going to come for this round, and they get it damn close.
Damn worth trying, considering they have the money to risk that. But yeah, Mongols would be an embarrassing loss to drop the ball there with the positions they have, despite the weaponry. But I think they changed the pace up finally. It felt
was
like
a necessary reminder. I think you were dead on in that it's good to just remind Eternal Fire we can go quickly, because now you're going to be getting more util burnt early. Maybe you're less likely to have someone like Xantares go for that drop down towards the lower site, because it takes a lot of time out of the round, right?
Yeah. Techno also got the vent dive, so as Ricardo drops, he doesn't realize someone's lower. And they've been throwing, to be fair, that's been a setup over rounds. They've been throwing that vent smoke a lot. They've never used it. So finally making do with their setup. Woxic back in the garage with the AWP. He might get the fight he's looking for right now. On top of the silo sits 910, who had a great last map. But I don't think we've even seen him on the AWP in this game yet, so time to see if Mongols are giving him the room to work it. He didn't find anything on the silo spot. Xantares is traditionally back in secret, and that allows Woxic to play very safe towards CT spawn, breaking the smokes, trying to get info, trying to set up Xantares. Let's see what he can do. Full nades, he wants to fight. How does he just get away? He can't keep getting away with it.
Oh my god, you don't want to face him. He's like a a villain from a horror film right now. Xantares just appearing in your nightmares.
Playing it smart as well, not just overdoing it for fights. They break it though.
Oh, it's so terrifying. He keeps giving them a couple of inches, but he wants to try and take it all away in the long run. He just doesn't want to offer up this kill, right? Because he knows if he goes down, that's the B side open for business. The longer he stays alive, the slower this T side can take B. The more time Eternal Fire have to pad out this lower site. And so now Calix is here to lend this helping hand. Smoke out through the door. Xantares spray destined to connect with the game he's having, and he hops down into the site. He wants to fight them every step of the way. Xantares has reinvented himself for this third map. And he has become the thing that the Mongols fear. He has become the man they fear. No time for 9-10, no chance. Eternal Fire lock in. A dominant lead on this CT side, and they even knock that AWP out to close.
What can he do, man? There's literally nothing that 9-10 can do. I mean, he could have gotten away with his stick in fairness, but he hears the shots above him. He just tries to get that kill before he plants. They're everywhere. They're all around him. And Xantares is just playing with unwavered confidence. And actually, after being punished on that one vent dive, this time he uses every bit of util to perfection. A masterclass on that lower rotation. 8-3, Mongols pop rush. Oh no, it looked like they were going to go.
You never, this is so, I can't illustrate enough how baller this is from Xantares. You don't see this, like, not to this level. Usually when a star player is like trying to force the confidence, things actually get worse as opposed to get better. But it's worked out so well for him. It's like coming into this third map, he decided, I'm going to drop all the frustration. I'm going to stop paying them respects. I'm Xantares, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and it's absolutely sucked the confidence out of Mongols in this game. They just look like a shell of themselves, you know. Don't feel like you can get away with anything if you run into this guy. He's going to take multiple kills with him in every position. Here's that upper bust. Fantastic tap from the tech, taking 2 in the head, and Mazzino running amok. Woxic, he's got the AWP here. We've not had to say his name too much, but maybe in the last round of the half, they can pull off a little clutch round. Not allowed. Mongols slipping one in for enough to break back, or will it be Eternal Fire eliminating the Mongols here in the play-in? Eternal Fire blazing a trail to the group stage of IEM Cologne here on Nuke. It's Xantares absolutely dominating after a disappointing map 2 on Mirage. He is in full control and full swing. 158 ADR, 5 multi-kills, triple kills every time they run into him, it feels like, against the Mongols. And this may be all said and done for the Mongolian sensations unless they pull it all the way back with a 4-round T-side.
Yeah, it's certainly a tall order here for the Mongols. No one's doubting it. But a pistol round would be a huge step in the right direction. So this one is weighted heavily.
Just felt like whatever Mongols called it didn't really matter. Eventually, you've got to get through the final boss. Missed up a Molotov, but it's only a ramp rush anyway on this fake out. Mizzino's going to drop down lower. There's no kit here. He's going to have to fight for his life.
Oh, cleanly done on a Wakadia. That's a very consistent voice from the series removed, but Calix more than makes up for it now. Senzu will reply at least, leveling the playing field in this 3-on-3. Magic was the guy faking onto the top site, and Senzu awaits him down at lower. Calix and Woxic have got to combine to pick this one up, but the bomb out in no man's land. They're left fighting without a bomb planted yet. Woxic's been spotted, he's been located, he's trying to lend time for Calix to come in on this backstab, and they will uproot Senzu. That can open up a route to a plant here. Woxic's low on health, so he's not going to help much in providing cover, but that swing is wild. It's Techno 4K, or it's the pistol for Eternal Fire. Calix, take a bow. That pistol round is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, 4 kills from the player who was 5-0, but like 8 rounds in was not a necessity, was not even required to perform in this game. Well, he shows up in the most important round so far and puts on 4 kills, entries and closes. And that's as Xantares gets tapped, crossing into the site. Great reposition, flanking back around the vents. That's a painful round to lose for the Mongols, who needed that if this comeback were to materialize. Now going to be on rifle rounds alone. Just trying to land pot shots outside. Some damage has certainly been done.
Oh! Oh my god! Xantares isn't loving the way that this T-side has started. That much is for certain.
Got to keep your head strapped on, but doesn't help when the scout is out.
But if map 2 and if the early stage of this one showed us anything, it's that the rest of his team are very reliable. Sure, they made extra space for him here in that first half.
Take that.
Techno hits a blinder as well. This force buy from the Mongols up against a scary scoreline comes from a place of desperation. They have hit 2 blinders to open this up. And now Blitz on this reposition. Deagle by his side gets up into the rafters in time, and he's got support moved in from the ramp room. The Mongols are all over this lower site. Eternal Fire don't feel like they can progress on in.
They're going back. They open the door only to creep back up secret. Calix in the vent as well can play off of them. This is a really nice repause, but they get caught coming up by the scout. 910 still in heaven. This smoke has to provide a path. This is the bomb outside after all, so Calix needs to play now, and he's going to start clearing out the lobby. In the meantime, 910 goes back. There's no time for this play. Wakadia, rather, in a 1v5, it feels like the Mongols have just stolen around from out underneath them, pulled the rug with pistols, no less.
When it was with pistols, they were able to close out that last map of Mirage.
Yeah.
And now it gives them a leg up, a chance at a comeback here into the night on Nuke. And it all starts with that. An absolutely wild kill from 910 and on to the front man of Eternal Fire, no less. But Eternal Fire do not let frustration take them. They do not give in to that temptation like they did back on the second map of Mirage. This one has been about composure. It's been about uplifting the stars who were quiet on that second map. And so for now, there is still a sense of calm on that Eternal Fire T side. They'll respond with a force buy of their own.
Double molly here. For hut roof, at the back of the site, or even the rafters above the hut. Either way, again, it's this fake out for Eternal Fire as they pop ramp. Scout should have no problem. No need to repeat, but hunted down by Glock could get awkward here. The burst is on. Woxic just wants this kill, and he's going to force it. 4v4, this is only an eco. Armored Glock, for crying out loud. A re-aggression could be dangerous. This is an uncomfortable re-clear with a lot of angles and different heights as well to deal with. The Tech-9s will just come swinging in and take 2 kills as Mongols get a little bit too keen. 4 on 2 now. Senzu back down B, but he needs to go heroic here to win this round. That nade will do it. Kill the bomb. Good start.
Even though this looked like a really good spot for Eternal Fire, that they can't get ahead of themselves here. This is still a tricky round to try and navigate. Woxic retrieves that scout.
Oh dear.
Does a bit of damage, but it's Magic getting painted up by the Mac-10. Calix's chance to trade. It's quickly getting away from him, and now it's just Woxic. 8 seconds left. He just doesn't have the time. And so Eternal Fire, it looked like they were going to steal a round straight back from the Mongols. But they're able to group up. They're able to regain their composure on the drop down lower, put a stop to that bomb plant, and then they keep harassing. They never let up. They never let Eternal Fire get comfortable.
What a robbery, and a 2v4 as well. This one was ridiculous. Calix giving away his position by chasing the reload, but just doing it a little bit too late from a little bit too far. And now it's Eternal Fire full eco as Mongols make do with their second round force buy and reap the rewards. No winning this, surely, for the T side. Nice outside setup, not giving away a pick, but also not allowing Eternal Fire to cross anywhere significant. Main covered, solo being cleared, and even secret held by the orb. So they know Eternal Fire are taking their sweet time. They don't want to give them anything. Good grenade. Woxic almost cratering.
That's what 200 cents gets you. You try to turn and run from the nade. Don't even know where you are anymore. Senzu and the rest of the gang just ready to deal with these Glocks. But Eternal Fire have at least taken some time here to talk about this coming round. Because for now, they still hold this lead. They still hold the cards.
Not for long.
Even going to supplement this with a timeout. So they had their time to discuss in that round there with the Glocks out. Now they're going to do it all over again. They know how important this round is. You don't want to have been dominating this game only to fall completely flat in the early stages of your T side and have the Mongols catch up. You win the pistol. You fall down to the pistols, just like how Mirage ended, and then you let the Mongols embark on this big streak. I think they know that would be alarm bells going off. The hopes of Cologne potentially going the way of the dumpsters. Now's the time to get back on top of things.
That'd be an absolute disaster, right? Zantares, think about what he just did in that first half, right? Like how enamored we were, how we were just marveling at his CT side, and then you tell me they win the pistol, but they still lose the game. That can't happen for Eternal Fire. They won't even believe it.
Mongols, meanwhile, doing a great job of never letting up, never giving up here. I think it would have felt so easy with the life game being put forward from Zantares on the other side, but they've kept their finger to the pulse here to open up on this CT half, leaning heavy in towards the hut earlier. Eternal Fire and Techno ready for this. Plays a nice angle just to try and repel it. He actually goes back in for even more, and that's one step too many. He was given a chance to get out of there, but tries to hound down Zantares, who survives at 1 HP. Senzu made some noise playing out through the door, so they know they've got him trapped in here. Smokes are down for Eternal Fire, but it's Blitz to make that first move. There's an option. They know where both these players are, but instead they go looking for Senzu back in the lobby before they head down the vent.
Desperate spray as well, and great reaction from Calix. He just goes hunting for that kill. They've even heard this drop. Cardi needs to be very cautious. Oh, he's stuck behind the side. No, not communicated, not heard. No clue. He can stick this bomb. He can win this round right now. Does the smoke let him down? He believes in it, and Calix just has to spam. He has one chance, and it's stolen away. What happened? Surely he heard him from ramp.
It definitely feels like he should have. I'm not going to have any solid answers for you there, but he should have heard him. He's right there in radio.
He's sprinting down. He dropped lower.
There was no subtlety in that play.
And Wacardia just caught walking nowhere. Oh dear.
They haven't given in to the frustration yet, but they might soon. Eternal Fire.
Full ramp rush. Orp's here. Double Orp as well. TheMongolz, the fourth player to play at this series. Oh. Let's one escape. And ground gained on a round with little in it. But all the pressure of a full buy. As this slows down, they know that Eternal Fire could be anywhere.
I mean, in theory, this is a great spot for Eternal Fire. The TheMongolz are flying blind. They've got a big hole in the map right now, so they're having to play 2-2, split between either bomb site.
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
You're constantly looking over your shoulder.
There's a split coming from 3 positions.
So much weighted on this first attempt at getting the opener. There is some moves getting made right now, right as the hit is about to come in. 910 just walks the AWP up from lower. And so he's going to get there, deal with the main component in time. But his teammates in the top site fall. 910 on this AWP, going to struggle to get involved. And Mazinho donning that second AWP. You couldn't think of a worse time to have this sort of buy. A top site retake, double AWP. They are out of there.
I know that analysts are going to be just molding about this double AWP because TheMongolz always pull it out at the most questionable of times. We've seen them already lose games in this tournament because of double AWPs. And they pull it out when Eternal Fire haven't established economy on the T side. When you're trading rounds off of winning the force buy, you know Eternal Fire's money is low, and you buy a double AWP? Sure, it got them a 5-on-4 on ramp, but it just limits you so much when you get into late rounds. And this is getting shaky now. Frustrating round to lose for the TheMongolz, and Eternal Fire just rob it. Oh, you did. Yeah, saved. It's just ugly.
Yeah. No, I mean, it even impacted how they could play the 4-on-4 in the both the players down on the lower site were the AWPers. They couldn't re-aggress to get the info as to whether or not that was the lower play till it was far too late in the round.
That's a rifle. You can go hunting, you go searching for answers. I mean, Eternal Fire played that 4v4 beautifully, right? Like they get the heaven control, they don't play it, they wait to clear all of outside, re-clear lobby, and at that point you know, okay, if we have outside, heaven, and lobby, they've got to be split. Like they've got to have numbers be. They're not going to be 3 or 4 on top site. So let's just triple split A. And Madja makes a great play in hut. He throws his nades, he jiggles, he spots a CT vent player, then heaven swings, then main activates. I mean, no one overcommits to duels in that upper split. So very well handled by Eternal Fire, but it never should have gotten to that.
Still, it's 1 round right now. That's Eternal Fire stemming the bleeding. They have not completely dealt with the wound.
Aggressive.
It's this round that could really seal their fate here.
Is this top silo nades? Back sight nades? But no one's there. Trying to put pressure on upper as they just pop out, but Techno's covering from above. All these grenades and nothing to show for it.
Oh, Techno's done a real good job of repositioning out of the danger zone from those flashes, and no one went in with them. I feel like it's a bit of a shame. The flashbang was really good, but it came after the death of Xantares. It came after that go at the opener, and then no one went for that trade. Yeah, the rest of the util had already started burning out.
Oh dear, Blitz has got this one.
The Mongols able to stop the A play in spite of all the util that gets lobbed into them, in spite of Xantares being that first man in. They successfully eliminate a big play from the toolkit of Eternal Fire here. Even coming into this game, you said you were excited to see some of their top side plays.
Yeah, that one's unfortunate because there's actually no one in standard positions, right? There's no one hut roof and there's no one backside. And that's just entirely what Eternal Fire were playing for. They're getting mollies on both of those positions, plus the double nade. Like, if someone's backside, they're not living in that round. And then Eternal Fire rush up and they get the kills. This is done, and Magi will not be allowed to plant on the B site. But yeah, that's just unfortunate round for Eternal Fire. And well done by Techno, who doesn't overcommit. And they don't feel like that's a good enough fight for them to send 3 players out hut. They don't even know where the second A player is. They just know he's not in the positions they want him to be. So, yeah, it gets a bit cooked, but I think it's a good call to cancel that once Eternal Fire realize what's going on. Okay, Mongols have amassed quite a healthy CT side so far. This was 8-4 down, and they lost pistol. Well and truly fighting for this final spot. Double AWP is back, Harry, with a vengeance. It might be just Mazzino feeling like he's not, not hitting his shots, not feeling it right now. So he just wants to change it up.
Yeah, plus, I mean, in these sorts of rounds, you don't have much of an issue with that coming out. Senzu, gnarly flick back around.
Okay.
And there's that Mazzino AWP having rotated away from ramp. They are pages ahead of Eternal Fire in this round. They fully reinforced the top site.
They actually had 0 ramp in that round, right? They're playing a heavy A and outside setup, so even though Eternal Fire get in through the smokes on a main split, Mongols have the ramp player in heaven with the AWP almost instantly. And another AWP down secret to stop a B play, so just gambling that Eternal Fire would not go ramp in that round. Really nice setup. Don't know how Senzu does as well as he did, and not even an exit, not even a kill for Eternal Fire. 10-10, and there's no bomb plant either, so Eternal Fire have to make a nerve-wracking decision. And let me remind you, at 10-10 now, did you forget that first half? That Xantares masterclass? What was it, 18-5? He's now 3-7 in this second half. Some say the least accomplished player relative to level of skill. Hard to argue. A near empty trophy cabinet, but one of the best aimers in the game.
And it's just back to these over and over again. So stubborn to break through the top site when it's never once panned out.
Lost the
Senzu, he's loving this. Give the guy a couple more chances. Get him switched online, and now he's even willing to go blow for blow with Xantares.
Again, slaughtered on top site.
And so I think so far, Magi, I think it's called a good, certainly opened well on Anubis. Mirage, he was missing some very important pieces of the puzzle, but he had them here on Nuke. He took a lot of effort to get them switched online, but now the T side has been so transparent. The Mongols are playing with a lot of bodies in the top side. They're getting the util in early. They're stifling the attempt at the fast upper hit. You're out of pauses now if you're Eternal Fire. You've got to grind your way back in with no outside perspective past this point, so you better hope that this at least gives you a solution, or else the Mongols, they're looking to have launched this comeback in the second half. Just 4 rounds found on their T side.
Just fantastic crossfires on A. Playing unorthodox positions, close vent.
And the thing now, do you go away from A after taking the tack pause? Because I feel like to blitz, that would be obvious.
You've got to try something outside. We've not really seen outside control for Eternal Fire. They're going to go to a standard secret cross, a classic.
I think it was obvious to blitz. They only played one guy in the top site right at the start of the round, and now they have Senzu fast dropping the vents. So the attack pause made this an obvious change of strategy for Eternal Fire. Let's see if the Mongols are going to be able to get ahead of that, because they've already got Senzu in a great position. Blitz hears the footsteps. He's now confirmed his suspicions. And so Senzu in the position that could destroy Eternal Fire. Xantares going to be the first to face him. He knows better than to stick around, and so he's going to go through the motions, wait for that rotate of the AWP on Mazinho.
Here's the ramp player already down lower. He's going to get Molly back, but Mongols are buying time with a flash. Mazinho does tick into it. Senzu just trying to pick ahead off of the top here. That's a great grenade. They're going to have to move forward with it. Good damage. Just a sprinkling on this Eternal Fire T side. 4 players lower. Maj are playing a late ramp lurk that's being considered. There's a hole in the door, and Xantares loses his legs and life. Senzu in the middle of the site is putting up a show. Eternal Fire are constricted to a single doorway, and death lies on the other side. In a 4-on-5, up the vent is desperation.
Try to rejoin Maja as he makes his way out through the heart. There's an opener found for Woxic Shaw, but Techno 4K will not let them in. The Mongols match series and progression into the group stage point locked in.
I mean, that's even a hard fight for Techno. How the hell does he get away with 2 kills? Mac 10 running at him after nade damage. He finds 2 crispy headshots. That's, you know, you wouldn't have been shocked if he fell with nothing there. He gets a double kill, and the rotate comes up heaven in time. Mongols have forced the hand of Eternal Fire.
And that frustration is well and truly back. Eternal Fire can feel their chance of making it to the group stage slipping away from them.
Xantares off the leash again.
They open this series with the goal of getting Xantares switched online. They live by him, they die by him. If he doesn't up the performance here down the stretch of these last few rounds, it is a done deal, but a double opener here to try and grind out an overtime is certainly a convincing case made. And the star of Eternal Fire.
They've got money. They should absolutely fight for this round, the Mongols. There is nothing to save for.
You just hope they don't overcook this.
It should be very difficult to lose this round, but Eternal Fire calling up, slow down, grouping. Techno going to hunt this roof kill, knowing Maj is throwing an exec. Oh, the timing is awkward. It's info for Eternal Fire, but a block comes in.
Smite Techno back in the lobby, so you know he's going to get involved in this topside play, but yeah, Xantares has been dispatched to deal with him. He does miss that timing on that slip through the smoke, but Woxic will not. They're waiting on the other side of it.
I mean, the only argument to save is to not give them an AWP. So that might be one reason. Otherwise, you just try and sneak in a defuse. I don't think Eternal Fire will give that one up. Xantares finally put down after a fantastic double entry outside. Heard 910 spam his AWP and push through the smoke on that timing. Really nice, just individual move from Xantares. They're going to try hunt this AWP. But they won't. Oh, they will take it. All right.
So across this series, 2 sort of star players have had to recover and reinvent themselves in time for the end. Xantares coming off the back of a pretty disastrous Mirage performance, who exploded into this third map. But on the flip side, it's Senzu, who to open this series got nothing done on Anubis. He was getting bullied down in the connector.
Like
and so who will be the undoing? Who will be the one that gets their revenge? Senzu and Xantares both topping the charts. Both have a lot to say on how this pans out, but it's going to be Calix to secure the opener for Eternal Fire. They're playing for overtime. They're playing for more rounds. But look who moves in to try and undo it all. Senzu with a very aggressive line in through the heart. And in the same way that Xantares was taking liberties on the entire CT side, Senzu now looks to do the same. Aggressive position, a lot to do, and nothing done as Xantares takes his head off as they clash in the hut.
Crazy clear, just feeling in his bones. Fake smokes outside. This should be confirmed. Blitz can see deeper than this. This is only to stop a Heaven player. Blitz knows it is. You may as well gamble upper right now because they know this outside smoke wall is a complete fraud. They're going to try group up, peeking the door into Xantares' orb up the vent denied as well. And Techno 4K needs 5. It's not meant to be. It's Eternal Fire dragging us surely to overtime. Back at the site. Another low player. Techno lights them up, but it will be Eternal Fire stepping up to the task and giving us bonus play. My God.
Xantares on the AWP, no less, having to seal the deal down the stretch.
That's terrifying.
He gets a pat of relief, a sigh of relief at the end of that round. Because it was meant to be easy. The hard work was meant to be done, and they were still left sweating. Xantares bails them out. Look at that. That's not a celebration. That's not elation.
Relief.
OT secured. And now you've got to go above that. Now you've got to go beyond. Early on in that round, they dealt with the big threat. They dealt with Senzu and that 9-10 AWP on a hub push. But the Mongols will not go gifting openers like that. And as you hit overtime, the nature of the game changes somewhat. That pressure of a game rapidly slipping away from you or struggling to close out goes away. And you get a little bit more freedom, especially in the early days of overtime. So let's see what these teams look to do with it.
Double AWP again. It's just been there whenever Mongols can afford it. Just walks out hard. There's not even a flash. Techno has just been an absolute beast on this A site. Multi-kill after multi-kill on his own with the A4. Senzu caught by Xantares' quick flick. He's almost up to 30 kills right now, and he's going to need them if they're to win this round. Into the top side they go. Mazzino trying to force him off the bomb. He will not do so. Xantares with a stick. And 2 health the difference as Eternal Fire set up to hold down this site.
I mean, this whole third map has been an exercise in picking Xantares back up and getting him back in the game. And now they've decided, you're not going first anymore, bud. You're playing a trade. He's hard fought a path back into this round, but at 2 HP, how much more can Xantares do? He will get run through by Blitz, and that leaves it all on Calix. Out through the hut, tries to swing this wide, but Mazzino, faith in 9-10, faith that he had the time and that Calix wouldn't be able to get him off that bomb. Steals that one right from under their noses.
Yeah, heads up play from Mazzino, who's not been having the greatest map right now, but just sticks on that bomb. Full faith. And even 9-10, who covers on all those repeats out from hut as well, stops the orb from forcing a kill. So huge retake. I mean, Techno has just been a rock on this A side. He almost 1v5'd them there to win the game in regulation. Like he was right there for it. So he's found multiple 2Ks from backside. No wonder. Remember Eternal Fire were like lobbing double nades and backside doing those molly hits. Like it feels like they've just done it on the wrong rounds, right? The rounds he's top rafters, they're doing their util. The rounds they just run out, he's backside.
Across the tournament, Techno's been real solid for the Mongols. And that's nice to see as well, because you remember when he first joined this team and you saw all the potential he was talked about. You'd heard about Techno 4K, but as time's gone on and as he's got more experience under his belt, he's molded into a pretty consistent player, especially when you get to the important, bigger stages of competition. A young veteran in the making.
Yes. I mean, with how many changes this Mongolian core went through in the past, just found better and better, younger and younger talents. Lots of damage done. Techno, they heard him run in here. That's a little awkward, but he's still going to win the fight with ease. 5v4 for the Mongols. They can sit back and relax. They don't even have the ramp room. They've been gambling and cycling smokes. 9-10's just moved back in. He doesn't want to waste his util. Again, they just don't believe that Eternal Fire would risk it on a ramp push. Double secret re-aggro, but as the smokes come down, this becomes a potent position for Blitz. He goes ahead of the Molotov, trying to clear this out. It's Xantares on the other side, and Blitz gets all the information he needs. He gets a backstab on the King, high damage, but more importantly, info tells his team, watch out on that top site. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Could have done with that landing. Senzu gonna swing out. Tries to make quick work of it. Techno 4K, he's been a rock anchoring this top site, and they've got to figure out how to move past him. Just jiggling, trying to keep them on their toes and buy some time for Blitz and 9-10 to get to work. The Mongols hit OT and they keep it up 2 straight.
Oh, Eternal Fire. Burning the candle at both ends late into the night. And maybe just running out of fuel for that fire.
I mean, I know the dialogue's been very Xantares focused, but with good reason. A lot of the Eternal Fire game plan right now is centering around him with the game assistance and the spots that they're putting him in, and so often he's been good for it, but as we said earlier on, they're living and dying by Xantares right now, and so let's see what he's able to do here. They need at least one on this T side, you feel like.
I love how Mongols are doing this. They're breaking the smoke twice over, which just it slows Xantares down, which gives time for these secret players to get aggressive, but he's on the other edge of the smoke. You want a round like this with a double entry, and if Woxic covers secret, aggression will be tempered. Woxic hits his shot. Are they ready for Mizzino as well? He's not in a hurry. Knowing the orb could be bearing down, he'll play later in the round.
Even starting with double secret leaves you strapped for manpower elsewhere on the map.
I mean, they haven't been playing ramp in this game.
Yeah, Mizzino kind of has to deal with Xantares, you feel like, out in the yard, because you give him space to get in through main, and this top site becomes one hell of a killing field. 9-10 on that AWP. Strikes from the heavens, Mizzino's made noise. Smoke down, and Wakadia finds him. 9-10's can't get a bearing on Woxic, and so Eternal Fire will find their way in right at the end of the first half of that OT.
Yeah, if Mizzino doesn't run there, that's a kicker. He is going to stop the bomb in its tracks. They probably don't even smoke main. Woxic's certainly not covering it. He's holding heaven, so just a footstep gives it away there. Eternal Fire, thankfully for them, pull through with something on the T side despite Techno's best efforts. Another double on upper. This has been a roller coaster of a map, and just what we wanted after 2 one-sided games. We said Nuke would deliver. Are you not entertained?
Both teams have struggled on their T sides. So that will be the side which really decides your fate across this one. How are you able to do it? Are you able to uplift from what we saw in that first half?
Ooh.
Not the best of starts for the Mongols as they lose top fragger Techno 4K early on. They managed to get the rest of the gang across down towards Secret. Unscathed as well as they do it in spite of that util, but look at who's already down here now.
I'm scared.
If you've only just joined us, so you missed that first half where Xantares went on this wild tear. This guy was all over the map. He was everywhere, omnipresent. There was nowhere you could go without running into Xantares, and he would so often get a multi-kill. But can he keep that up into OT? Gets the spot on the Mongols down at lower. A fast reposition, but reinforcements are a little ways away. Calyx going to be that first point of contact over on the ramp side. Flashes land. Now Woxic posted on that AWP. Whoa. Him and Calyx will combine, and Calyx goes back in for even more. Only Blitz left standing, and he walks to his demise. This one's not about Xantares, it's about Calyx in full support of him.
How did he recover that? They're peeking him door. Woxic gets great support from the AWP, and Calyx just swings, and swings again, finds 3 kills in the round. He's just trying to set up Xantares there, but like you said, he did everything instead. The old 1-2 Space Soldiers punch of Calyx and Xantares, and Calyx is stepping up on the scoreboard now. 14 apiece, first to 16. On map 3. Can anyone take two. Santares back outside, just looking to shoot them in the face. Through the smoke, he's going for it. He feels the freedom. But they've crept right past. We saw this round before. Remember this?
Yeah, last
Kill
time.
a lurker, you think it's clear, it's anything but. Do Eternal Fire remember? Did they learn their lesson? Oh,
he's seen them. He's seen them all right. That Molly going to displace the garage players, and now Woxic, better angle than what we saw the last time they faced this round. Will Eternal Fire remember? They've seen this trick before. Flashes out in towards the ramp room. Woxic's been displaced, and Calix gets domed on his swing out through the spawn. They don't realize Blitz has made it all the way across here. And so as Woxic is looking for these players out in the yard, the rest of the Mongols are just hit pause on the ramp room taken now. Try to swarm Woxic down over in hell. He's pincered. Rocket a hard place for Woxic, and there's Mazinho with the backstab.
great play.
Madger is the only guy left over here on the top site, and he's had a quiet game. Might need to stand and deliver now. The captain of Eternal Fire deals with that lurk out through the yard. Senzu picks up both players trapped in at the vent side, and Wakadia left too far away. 1v3. And an open route into the Heaven's Shore, but he's going to struggle to go any further than this. First showing out through the heavens, he's got to deal with Techno. Flick back, but 9-10 finds him. And so the Mongols move to pole position.
Oh, I love that play for the Mongols. Everyone communicating fantastically there, not over chasing Woxic on the ramp side. They run at him, then they stop. They know it's going to force him back outside, and that's when Mazinho can spring the trap. Young gun Senzu recovering an awkward spray up the vent. And a devastating way to lose that round as Eternal Fire don't learn their lesson. One more will do it. Mongols looking like they want to bring the heat.
Fast out down the vents for Techno 4K. Wrap hit for everyone else. And Calix, who's given us a fantastic series, is deleted. Dead in the water, nothing to be done. The Mongols control lower, and Eternal Fire are left scrambling for a retake. They've got to get past Techno 4K. Easier said than done, as Wakadia pays the price. The Mongols have had so much time here to get set up, so much time to get situated. They are further forward than Eternal Fire are ready for. And so they put tremendous stock in getting Xantares switched online while he's knocked out before last light here. As the Mongols look to move into the group stage at IEM Cologne, and the journey ends for Eternal Fire. Stellar stuff across the board from the Mongols, recovering from a horrible start to open this series on Anubis.
Yeah, 84 down on this third map as well. They even lose the pistol. They pull it back in overtime. That is a rock-solid mentality for the Mongols. They ride off into the sunshine, into the group stage, and Eternal Fire